Today we're going to be talking about the power of magic. We're going to be talking about magic within the mundane. We have prayers for me. Hi. Thank you. Hosting Kim Church. Thank you. We're going to be talking about the power of magic within the mundane. This sermon actually came from Aaron. I was like, I don't know what to do for Kim Church. And Aaron was like, why don't you do this? And I was like, well, that sounds cool. Let's do it. And so that's what we're doing. So prayers for Aaron for recommending a super cool Kim Church topic. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the power of magic within the mundane. So, as a lot of you may know, I run a witchy business called Witch Pixels, where I sell a variety of my art and witchy gifts, and one of the main things I'm known for is my kitchen magic. I use intentional herbalism for baking food charged with intention. Cinnamon is excellent for abundance and protection, and lavender helps with rest and relaxation, and strawberries attract love, etc., etc. These are things that you can find in any herbal witchcraft book that you can put within the things that you're making to draw more magic towards them. You can look them up on Pinterest. Witch Talk talks about them all the time. This is common knowledge within the witch community that certain herbs bring certain results. As a kitchen witch, the term for people who utilize these herbal principles in their food and infuse their dishes with magic, I regularly experiment with different dishes I make for my store. I generally start with what sparks joy. For example, I want to make a tres leches cake. And then I research, what are the magical properties in a tres leches cake? What ingredients have different well-known magical properties that I can highlight and enhance with this dish? How can I use my own magic and intention to draw those properties out? I can go, okay, tres leches has some of the following ingredients, which some of these are well-known magical properties. Heavy whipping cream is dairy. It comes from milk, the milk of a mother cow. This contains a mother's energy. It's nurturing. It causes happiness for the calf as the child has their needs met drinking their mother's milk and they feel safe and protected. Sugar can be used to sweeten up a spell. Vanilla can be associated with love, friendship, and happiness. And cinnamon, as we said before, is associated with abundance and protection. All of these products have a logical property behind them, or they've been used in spell work for so long that there's a folk-related intent to them, meaning someone's grandparents were told by their grandparents, who were told by their grandparents, etc., etc., that cinnamon was used for abundance. And we don't question it because we don't question someone's great-great-great-grandparents when it comes to magic because they've seen some stuff. Also, it works, as the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if it works, don't worry about fixing it. I can make my tres leches cakes. All of these ingredients come from pre-selected magical properties, and good practitioners of magic are supposed to take these ingredients and use them as instructed, right? Your food is only magical. There has the following magic herbs from this short list of ingredients that are neat enough to fit on a pin on Pinterest. Lavender, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, all of these herbs that we've heard about. But if I'm being honest, traditional witchcraft can get kind of boring. And it's usually rooted in Celtic or Nordic traditions, which do not align with me, and the earthy color palette associated with it, the greens, the browns, the golds, they look like something that hopped out of a copy of Lord of the Rings, which may be some people's cup of tea, but like, sometimes it's mine. But I mean, look at my room. Like, it's giving Space Kid. Like, look at what I'm wearing. It's Space Kid. It's not Renaissance Fair. And like, I can do both, but So I'm going to pivot for a second. I'm going to tell a story, and then I'm going to tie it into the main theme. This is some real English teacher stuff here, okay? By the way, when the sermon is done, please pass your notes to the front. I will grade them for completion. They'll go towards your homework grade, which is worth 10% of your final grade. No, but anyway, it's story time. So, like I was saying, as a kitchen witch, I regularly experiment with different dishes I make for my store. I love making new things rather than making the same thing over and over again. I especially love making different, colorful, weird things. Again, look at my room. So, you'd imagine my delight when I came across the concept of a Pop-Tart cookie. It's essentially a funfetti sugar cookie with chunks of strawberry Pop-Tart in the cookie. It looks like a unicorn puked, and then you mixed the rainbow puke together with flour and rolled them into balls and baked them. In short, it looks amazing. And here's a link of my cookies if you want to take a look. Straight up UNICULT. Not UNICULT, but yes, UNICULT. Unicorn poop is what this thing looks like. So here's the thing though. Unlike the tres leches cake that I was talking about before, or anything that I've ever made before, I didn't know what was magical about them. You know, there's no mystical herbs for me to latch onto with their predetermined property like lavender and nutmeg and cinnamon and bay leaf. These were Pop-Tarts. I only had Pop-Tarts. How am I supposed to do witchcraft with Pop-Tarts? And as I sat on this, because I really wanted these in my store, they're so cool. A Pop-Tart in a cookie, that's amazing. But it's not traditional magic. And I'm not going to just make stuff up, at least not in a malicious way, right? I'm not going to go, Kellogg, the parent company of Pop-Tarts, is actually a secret wizard school, and their Pop-Tarts are magic because it was made by the wizard home economics class, and they market Pop-Tarts as a good breakfast for kids because diabetes in the morning is the best way to jumpstart your magical powers, as written in the Kellogg's Book of Shadows. Beep, boop, pop. I'm not going to say that. That's a straight up grift, dude. But as I sat on this, as I tried to justify why I should add these so-called magic cookies to my menu, I realized the fact that these cookies should not be magic is the very reason these cookies are magic. So let me explain. These cookies are ridiculous. It's a bunch of Pop-Tarts shoved into a cookie dough and rainbow sprinkles. You won't find Pop-Tarts on an altar. Pop-Tarts are childish. Pop-Tarts should not be magic, but they are anyway. Why? Because I said so. Literally, that's it, because I said so. Those familiar with magic know that spells are commonly finished by saying, "So mote it be," which means, "So may it be," or "It is done." In Christian religions, prayers are punctuated by saying amen, which has a similar meaning, which means "so be it." In African philosophy, defined by the Yoruba people of Nigeria, use the words ashe, which is similar to amen. They use the word ashe to represent the power that makes things happen and produces creating the universe and all living things. The word ashe is believed to be given by Olodumare, the ruler of the heavens in the Yoruba religion. They are the supreme god or supreme being, so basically they are God. The word was given by this god to all other gods, to spirits, to humans, to animals, to plants, to rocks, to rivers, and voiced words such as songs and prayers and curses or even everyday conversation. It was given by this god to everything in existence. Existence, according to Yoruba thought, is dependent upon this one word, ashe, meaning the power, the divine power to make things happen. And that's the crux of magic. Creating things for the purpose of manifesting a desired outcome and knowing it's going to happen, not because you put lavender or cinnamon or insert magic rock here in your spell jar or your candles or in your cookies. That's a joke. Don't put rocks in your cookies unless you want to find yourself in the market for a brand new set of teeth. But your magic isn't powerful because of all those magical ingredients with predetermined associations. It's powerful because you damn well said so. You want to be a powerful witch? Say a belief. Say it as a belief with conviction that you're a powerful witch. Belief makes real. That's it. If you want to be a powerful witch, say it and believe it with all of your heart that you are a powerful witch and you're a powerful witch. That's it. So I made these Pop-Tart cookies and I added them to my menu. And I called them Chaos Magic Cookies because saying something will happen because you said so is a complete mind screw. Like I said, I'm censoring for the old YouTube algorithm. It's a mind screw. But that energy is so unaligned with the status quo that it messes with people's head. At the last market I was vending at, living my RPG NPC best life and selling my magical wares in this beautiful marketplace, this really well-dressed family showed up. It was a mom, a dad, the little girl, and they looked like they just came from church. It was a Sunday, so that was very possible. They were definitely spiritual because it was a witch market meant for witch vendors, and the dad had a magical amulet on. And I'm not sure exactly what the amulet meant, but you could look at it and clearly tell it was associated with witchcraft, whatever it was. It was gold and it was definitely expensive. So that dad is over here with his magic amulet and he's asking me questions. He's like, "What's your background? How did you get into this?" And I'm telling him I'm Haitian, I'm an ancestral witch, and how I've been practicing for over a decade. And the whole time I'm talking, this man's arms were crossed. And he's looking over the little signs that I use to explain my items. And as I'm telling him what got me into witchcraft, he goes, "Yeah, that's why I asked, because this," and he points to my Pop-Tart cookies, and he's like, "because this isn't magic." And he looks so absolute about it. And I explained to him exactly what I told you all. If you want to tell the universe these cookies are going to help you have an amazing day, then they're going to boost your magic, your joy, your creativity, because they will. Because you said so. Because you damn well said so. Then it's going to work. And his wife is like, "Oh yeah, that makes total sense." But the dad, he was not having it. He just kept shaking his head with his fancy all black suit and magic amulet. And I say this with no malice. For all the money it's worth, that magic gold amulet was worth, it was probably mass produced at a factory. Just like so many of the stuff that we have here, it's probably mass produced at a factory, just like my Pop-Tarts. So what makes that necklace more powerful than my cookies? Huh? What does that? So this man, probably twice my age, incredibly well put together, in pricey magical attire, couldn't see the most basic and most powerful principle of magic, that your intention, your belief, can put magic in the most mundane of items. Magic, as we see it portrayed in history, at least the history that those who document it is, meaning like the history of stuff that we usually see documented, and as you know, those who are the oppressors, or the rulers of a nation are the people who document the history, so that's the only thing that we see. But magic, as we see it documented in history, is still old, and it can box people in. As we saw in this story, as Aaron says, the magic judge. And I like what Flip Top said. Yeah, Pop-Tarts are magic because so are unicorns and glitter. Glitter is magic. You know this is UNICULT glitter that's under my eyes? And it was marketed as magic under eye glitter. It's magic because you said so. I feel super great with my magical under eye glitter because I said so. So yeah, old magic, when we attach ourselves to these specific magical items, as stated, boxes us in. But that's not to take away from old magic. There's a reason we collect crystals, and there's a reason certain colors have different meaning. There's a reason that stuff can enhance our magic. It has centuries of belief coded into it. The belief is data. Those objects are listening to what we put into them and embody our words like an affirmation. If you tell a child that they're smart and loved, and you say that to them every day, they're going to believe it and embody it. If you tell a four-leaf clover that it's lucky, And your grandparents told four-leaf clovers that they're lucky, and their grandparents told four-leaf clovers that they're lucky, and their grandparents, and for centuries we all kept embedding these plants with DNA of luck and abundance and protection. Plants can also hear us, by the way, and they can tell the difference between people. Like, they can recognize you from other people, and they're aware of your actions. The point is, when we as a society spend centuries embedding our belief into something, it becomes part of its DNA. This is why we can have a crystal or an herb and feel its effects before we even know what it's supposed to do. So there's a purpose for old magic and its predetermined properties. But staying glued to those objects and their modalities cause you to miss the fact that magic is a living thing. It's constantly changing and evolving, and just like our ancestors embedded beliefs into things, programming its DNA with those beliefs, we can do the same thing with objects in our everyday life. Because the truth is, we're going to be somebody's ancestor someday. Even if you don't have kids, I don't care about that. But like, within some sort of family, other people are having kids and you're connected. Congratulations, you're an ancestor. You don't have to have kids to be an ancestor. We're going to be somebody's ancestors someday. And the things that we do now determine what becomes history in the future, just as our ancestors did before us. And since magic is a living thing, we need to keep innovating with it. And if that means calling Pop-Tarts magic, then that's what it means. When we only focus on items that people tell us are magic, herbs, crystals, candles, we fail to realize one of the best skills a witch can have: their wit and resourcefulness. We look around the room and we go, there's no witchy items in here. Guess I can't do any spell work. Guess I have to sit with my circumstances, or guess I have to go to the store and spend all my money on this specific herb or this specific crystal because it was on a Witch Talk 5 Witchy Items You Didn't Know You Needed compilation. Damon Eccles, a magic practitioner who used magic with what he had in his jail cell to help him get off of death row for being wrongly accused of murder, states, you can make a talisman or amulet out of anything. And the last time I was on Camp Church, I brought up this book. I'm going to bring it up again because I'll keep singing its praises. This is Damon Eccles. But he was on death row, and he used what he had, exactly what he had within his jail cell to create magic. And I'm pretty sure he didn't have an abundant spice cabinet or a bunch of crystals to do the amazing magic that he did that was able to get him off of death row. So a lot of his magic was done with belief, water, breath. The air you breathe is magic. Pop-Tarts are magic. Everything is magic, no matter how mundane. So the challenge for this week is to create magic with something mundane. Make a lucky talisman out of your favorite necklace, or make a whole new one. Cast a sleep spell using your most comfy stuffed animal. Your Squishmallow has magical properties. The property of being comfortable as hell. You're welcome. Cast a spell and watch how well you sleep tonight because you said so. You don't need fancy things to create magic. All you need is yourself and a little belief. Alright, we're going to go ahead and wrap up our sermon. I didn't even drink my water before I started. I just jumped in. So if you haven't drank your water, please be sure to drink your water. I have my holographic mug, so please be sure to drink your water. Go ahead, sing to your water. Ooh. Go ahead, tell it I love you, I honor you, I thank you. And program your water, program the water's DNA with all of its amazing magic. And go ahead and drink your water. And that's all you need to create a spell. That's all you need. Alright. Thank you all for coming all out and having a good time with me. Thank you all for coming all out. If you are a member of UNICULT, if you're not, join UNICULT today. If you are a member of UNICULT, go ahead and pop on over into the Discord where we will be having uni brunch. I believe that's 2:30 is uni brunch. Go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong. So in a little under an hour, we'll be having uni brunch. So go ahead, pop on over to the Discord and chat with your cool cult friends. And I will see you all later. Bye, uni blast. I'm gonna keep waving.